Welcome everyone to Coaching in Session. My name is Michael Reardon, and I'll be your mindset coach today. And today we're going to be talking about my new blog that just came out today, Belief versus Opinion. And what better time for this article to come out because we are living in a world where opinions are being treated as beliefs and vice versa. So can someone have a belief and then make that belief someone else's opinion? And it might seem confusing at first, but we are going to dive into that. And then by the end of this podcast, you're going to understand what is the difference between what is a belief and what is an opinion. If you're new to the channel, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Do all those things that videos like, and to share this video with whomever you believe is going to benefit from a mindset shift. So let's get into a little bit of what the definition is and then go into what the blog is going to be talking about. So here we have the definition of what a belief is. And this is where many people are going to be struggling with because they're going to try to figure out, well, am I making a belief or am I just having an opinion? Now, of course, we can make our beliefs and opinions and vice versa. So looking at the definition of belief per Google, an acceptance that a statement is true or that something exists, and then trust, faith, or confidence in someone or something. So you will either believe in someone. So either you would A, hope, right? I hope it's going to be good. I'm going to believe in something good. I'm going to hope into something good under that premise. And then the other one is going to be that I believe in something. This is my belief. Now, when we go to the opinion definition, we are going to be faced with a clear definition of what opinion is. A view or judgment formed about something not necessarily based on fact or knowledge. And that's going to be key when not necessarily based on fact or knowledge. So looking at belief and opinion, we can see that the definitions already are going to be jarring. One is going to be and the premise of hope on what I believe, not necessarily what you believe. And then the opinion is going to be what I believe, but it doesn't have to be based on a truth. Now, I can believe I can do something amazing with my life. I can believe I can make a difference. Now, it is your opinion if you don't believe I can do that. Because what your opinion is, it doesn't define me. And if someone has an opinion about something and they believe someone should follow their opinion, what are they necessarily doing? Because if we look at that aspect of control, I have this opinion, I have this belief, and I want you to do it too. Because I'm doing it, it's only common sense that you should do it too. And for you to get into that mindset, that's dangerous. Because now you're just saying that your way is the right way and there's no other way. And I'm not saying that you're wrong. I didn't say that. If you want to think you're wrong, that's on you. Your opinion or your belief is going to be contingent on your mindset. So I have clients, they come to me and they say, Mike, I want to do this with my life. And I say, sure thing, let's get to work. Let's get it started. And somewhere down the line, they say, do you believe I can do this? And I always tell them, do you not believe you can do this? Because you only need one person in the world to believe in you. And that could be yourself. It could be another person. And I always tell my clients, if you're working with me, number one, whatever you decide, I'm going to believe in you as long as it be good. Positive, right? It brings some type of wealth and nurturing to the world. It brings abundance to the world. And they typically just have business plans, family plans, and I said, we can get that. It's easy. Well, something happens down the line and they're not as ambitious anymore. They're second guessing themselves. Now they don't necessarily believe that they can do it. They don't necessarily hope that they're going to make what they want, their goals, reality. So that belief kind of goes into a corner and hides, and they say, as much as I want this in my life, I just can't see me doing that. That belief is not there. So when I'm working with people on belief, I just have to help them start to gain confidence, because belief and confidence are going to be two peas in the same pod. Because you can have belief, but you have to be confident about that. What is a trust fall, for example? A trust fall is the belief that you're going to fall backwards and someone's going to catch you. Now, you have to trust that person, and though you may not be 100% confident when you first do the trust fall, because you are letting someone else be in control of your life or your safety at that moment. And it might not be a big trust fall. You might just fall and hurt your bottom. If you fall the wrong way, you fall and hurt your face. But if you do it the right way and they catch you, now that confidence, that trust between the two people is starting to build. Now you're confident that that person that caught you before will catch you again. And if you do the trust fall again, you're not going to hesitate as much as you did on the first time, because you're confident that the person is going to take care of you. Now, this is not necessarily saying you need people to take care of you. It's just that confidence comes with belief. Now you're believing that this person is going to take care of you. And then eventually that hope, that belief turns to, I know this person is going to catch me. And we're living right now in a society where people have a belief and they act on that belief, right? But if they act on this belief and it's not the same belief as someone else, they're going to be ridiculed. They're going to be outcasted. Shame, shame, shame. You don't believe in what I can do. The possibilities are capped. There's not enough to go around. That's a scarcity type of mindset. That's a limiting belief type of mindset. The world is filled with that. Limiting beliefs, what you can't do, what you must abide by. And if you're going to just allow yourself to get pushed around, guess what happens? You're going to be getting pushed around for quite some time. And before you wake up and before you realize, hey, I should make a change, you have to start the process, belief and opinion. Because there's going to be a lot of opinions coming at you saying, oh, you can't do this. You're never going to surmount to anything more than what you are right now. Just do as I say, just do as you're told, and live your life the best you can. But what happens if you have a belief that is daring greatly, that is going to be bigger, more grandiose than all the other beliefs that your peers, your neighbors have? Can you follow those beliefs? Can you follow your hopes and your dreams? And the answer is yes, you can. The problem is, now if someone has a different viewpoint, we have to attack. So let's get into the blog, and then we can look at what the difference is going to be between belief versus opinion. So the new blog today, Belief versus Opinion, is going to be talking about life coaching and wisdom, of course, right? So the wisdom is that knowledge that I have had, that I have gained from many other mentors, parents, guardians, peers over the years on what belief and opinion is. Now, when we look at what belief and opinion is, we talked about the definition, but we have a dilemma, because what's happening now is that opinion is becoming what needs to be followed. We're going to go into some examples a little bit later, but two words are so similar in the sense of, well, I believe this is this, and my opinion is this and this. Now, of course, if you believe something, that's going to be intrapersonal, and it might not have any effect on anyone else. Now, if you have an opinion, my opinion is this. For example, I believe in taking a bath every night. My opinion might be, if someone doesn't take a bath every night, they're dirty. This is my opinion. So now I'm categorizing people into a box, and I'm saying, if you don't take a bath every single day, you're dirty. That's my opinion, right? Now, is it my belief? I say, I believe people should take a bath every single day. And if they don't, My opinion is that they're dirty. Now, that's just an example. Now, let's use it in the real world. You see it all the time right now. If you don't take a shot, right, some type of medical care that's happening all in the world, and there's mandates, and people are not necessarily pro getting this shot. So guess what happens? I believe I don't need this shot. My opinion is, if you get this shot, you're silly. That's where the problem is. So now I'm going to put everyone in a box that they're silly if they get this shot. This is an example. Now, the other side. I believe that getting this shot is a good thing. It's going to make me stronger. It's going to help protect me and my family and my loved ones. That is my belief. My opinion is, if you don't get this shot, you're a terrorist. You don't care about your family. You don't care about me. You're against society. You're against the humankind. Okay. So we have that difference in a belief and opinion. Now, what my belief is and what my opinion is actually the same. I believe people should do what they want or what they need to feel protected. And my opinion is people should feel protected. I'm a neutral type of person because I work with people all over the world. I work with people who are on both sides of the political realm. And my job is not to change someone because they have a belief, because they have a certain opinion. If they want help, they're going to get help from me. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And I'm not going to allow something as petty as belief and opinion to dictate that. And this blog is going to be talking about just the difference between belief and opinion and give you multiple examples about this. And what I'm going to do right now is just talk about what's happening on in the real world and then leave this article for your reading pleasure. And then you can understand what belief and opinion is a little bit more. There was a news article or a video that came out of a teacher. I believe it was a substitute teacher. Now, is that warrant for any type of unrest? A substitute teacher is on a rampage. I mean, that's going to be for the Wednesday podcast. But let's talk about what this teacher did. Now, this teacher basically told a student that the mask he was wearing, because there's a mask mandate for students in some schools, and he told that the student couldn't be wearing a mask with a flag, something along those lines. And the mask was American flag, black and white, but it had the blue line to show support for police, supporting blue, right? Supporting the country, supporting the police department. And his father was actually part of the police department. So he was doing that in camaraderie with his father to say he supports his father. And of course, the teacher comes in. Well, if you have this mask on that's not patriotic and it's not even the right colors and BLM, all he was saying a few things. What had happened is that now he's operating under the realm of opinion, because he could have a belief and keep it to himself. He could believe that supporting the police is not a good thing, right? And he can have his opinion and he can keep it to himself. But what's happening in the world is teachers, for some reason, are becoming more opinionated and leaving out the facts and the knowledge. And that's dangerous. Because if a teacher is going to omit the facts and the knowledge of what they are teaching children, we have a bigger problem on our hands. Because we don't necessarily want to say all teachers are bad, because that's not true. I know so many wonderful teachers who love and care, and they don't have opinion. They just believe that they are going to make a difference with this class, that they're going to give the best education for these children. They're out there. I know them. But it's difficult when you get one bad apple and it ruins it for everyone else. Because in education, we have to understand the child is going up in the levels of development. So if they get a bad teacher at some point in their development stages, guess what happens? That is there with them, and they're going to be with that teacher for a whole year. So whenever school starts, depending on your area, so typically it will be August, September, and then it's going to end in May or June. That student, your child, is going to be with that teacher, be it good or bad, for that prolonged period of time. And you have to also put in the factors of your child is going to be around students, their peers, for that period of time also. So if you know anything about the stages of development, the two biggest areas that a child is going to learn from is going to be their behavior and their environment. So the behaviors that they see, whether it be from mom or dad, grandma, grandpa, the teachers, the students, that is going to be their acceptable bounds of operating in their environment, looking around, seeing everything. And it takes critical thinking for a child to think outside of that bounds. And that has to be taught. So if a child is living in a grass hut and they have a nice comfortable bed, mom and dad love them, they have food, that child doesn't have a concern or a need or desire. But if we place that child in a mansion with clean running water, with a feather down bed, and all the toys and electronics, and all the sweets and cookies and candies and sodas for a month, and they go back to what they had, now their environment is going to have something to differentiate between. I had this good environment and I loved it. It was so much fun. It was so easy. And now I'm in a grass hut. And I'm not happy that I'm in this grass hut. So they have an option to change where they are, their environment. But guess what's happening in the world right now? Are people able to go out freely? Yes and no, right? It's more difficult in some states to just go out and be yourself. There was a video happened, I think maybe a month or two ago, of a boy who was in a restaurant. He didn't have a mask on. A whole police force, it seemed like. I don't know how many police officers were there. I didn't count, maybe 9. And they wanted to escort this young boy out. He was maybe 7, if that. Now, from looking at his mannerisms, he was afraid, he was scared, and he might have had some type of behavioral problem that was labeled from some type of school psychologist, therapist, whatever, right? Like an ADHD type of person, right? He seemed like an active individual. That doesn't make him a bad person. That doesn't make him a person that's not going to surmount anything in his life either. However, the fact that he didn't have a mask on and he was walking around, someone called the police. Is that a belief or an opinion? Because if someone is going to be operating under the bounds of that child doesn't have a mask on, is not following the rules, is that a belief or an opinion? And that's where our world is. They can't tell the difference between a belief and opinion. Because I can believe something. And if I believe it, why should I force other people to believe what I believe? Because if I believe that a mask works and someone else doesn't have a mask on, why in the world am I going to be operating under the bounds if they don't have a mask on, mine doesn't work? If they don't have something in their body, mine doesn't work. That's a belief. And then that's the opinion, and you're mixing the two. There's no facts. There's no data. It's all what you say. It's all what you were told. We don't need facts anymore. We don't need data anymore because the fact checkers come and they make up their own facts. The search engines, the big corporations can go in and change the definition of a term to fit their needs. And it's interesting. We have to pay attention to that because if belief and opinion changes, then we're going to be just operating under the bounds of we need to believe everything and our opinion should be other people's beliefs because we don't want to hurt anyone, right? Everyone is so fragile now. If you hit the dislike button, or if you tell someone that they're a little bit chunky, they go home and they cry. And I'm not saying that words don't hurt, because that's not true. But at the same time, we need to have a belief that's going to be powerful. We need to have a belief that's going to be certain. We need to have a belief that's going to be impregnable and is going to help us get to the places we need to go in life. And the opinions that we create along the way, those are there to help us stay guided on that path. Because I can have an opinion on something, but it doesn't mean I have to force you to say what I believe in. Because if someone is upset with you and they are yelling and they're shouting and they say, oh, you're doing this and I don't like this. And if you wanted to de-escalate that situation, you just have to mirror that person, and not in the sense of negative, positive. So let's say they're upset that you parked in a handicap spot. And of course, they're going to be upset for a while. You can say, oh, I didn't see the handicap sign. I'll move the vehicle right now. And I can get out, move the vehicle, and the person can still be berating you. Even though there was a remedy, where does that berating end? Is it a belief or is it an opinion? Now, of course, parking in a handicap spot is going to be factual, that you can't park there unless you have some type of medical need to park there and you have the proper paperwork to do so. She's going to be, or he's going to be, dealing with the angry person now. And you can just ask them, well, what would you like me to do? And they might say, well, I don't want you to park in a handicap anymore. You can simply say, well, I did move my vehicle and it won't happen again. Now, do we apologize? No, we don't apologize. Because if you did wrong, you're better off fixing what you did, owning up to it. You don't need a sorry. But they want a sorry. They want you to beg and plead and to be their friend. And if you want to get on that person's good side, you can say, hey, here's my cell phone number. I really enjoyed speaking with you. Maybe you can help me be a better person. And they're like, oh, well, yeah, I love changing people. I love people to operate under the bounds of what I believe, what I say. Because if we really look at it, that angry person wants this. They want to say something and they want us to conform to them. If someone tells me their belief, I believe this, people should do this. Guess what? If you do it, then you're part of the club. If you don't, you're an outcast. What do you think is happening in cancel culture? Belief and opinion. We just look at the people who are being canceled. Can't turn on CNN or turn on Fox News without hearing about someone being canceled because someone got angry. They got upset that someone did something or said something. But guess what? If you want to have a belief on a particular person, but if you want to have an opinion on a different person, then that is going to be your downfall because you are putting that person in a box. Because if you want to have a belief on that person, that's going to be your downfall because you're putting that person in a box and you're telling yourself that, all right, I can't like this person because he's this type of person or she's this type of person. And what that does is going to create divide. It's going to create separation. So the fact that this person does this, I can't associate with this person. And you don't have any data or facts. You're just operating under the bounds of what you believe that this person did or what someone said. Now, if someone said something about a good friend, family member to me, they said, hey, Mike, this person is no good for you. They did this and they're cheating and they're stealing your money. And I say, okay, thank you, right? Now I can do my own due diligence. I can go out, I can find what will be my belief. I'm going to do the work. Because it is easy to turn on the news channel and get told what to do. I have clients that tell me, Mike, can you just tell me what to do? Just tell me what to do so I can be successful. And I say, I don't do that. Because what is for you has to be done by you. I'm not in the business to change people how I want them to do. I help people change into how they want to become. Because who they are going to become is going to be unique to them. Now, what I have accomplished in my life is great. I have more to do, of course, and it's going to be a challenge. I understand that. But I look forward to that challenge. And that's what people need. We need challenges. We need to let our opinions go to the wayside, tuck them away, and understand that we can have opinions and we can believe in certain things. But are you just a person to be told what to do? Are you just a person who turns on the news, the mainstream media, and hears what's going on in the world? I'm not allowed to talk to this person because they said this. I have to unsubscribe because this company stands for this type of behavior. And of course, support who you want. But understand, just because you support it doesn't mean the world has to support it with you. You decide what's for your life. Figure out your beliefs. Figure out what opinions you have on those beliefs, on the current structure of the world. Because you might think someone's a nuisance, or you might not think there's a problem. You might be living under a rock. You might be pretending the world is not on fire. And I'm not here to change you if you want to believe that the world's on fire. I'm not here to tell you that if the world is all gumdrops and rainbows and everyone's a friend, it's your belief. Now, of course, if you want to figure out the truth, your truth, head over to reverendconcepts.com. And we can start to do the work to find out your beliefs. And then we can determine if your beliefs and your opinions are helping you get to where you want. Because if you have a belief that staying 6 feet apart from people, or an opinion that if someone doesn't stay 6 feet apart from someone, they don't really care about people, or they're being risky or dangerous, you have to start to think, is that slowing your progress down? Because in life, we give ourselves anchors, and they could be in the form of thoughts, beliefs, opinions, or people. So however you do it, understand, is it slowing you down? Because you only have one life, and we can't waste time thinking that we have time, that we have tomorrow, because tomorrow's uncertain. But what we do have is this moment. So believe what you want, have opinions in what you want, but understand that if you're a person who tries to push off their beliefs and opinions on someone else, then start to think, why am I doing that? And I help people find their truth. Now, do I want to change you? No. If you want to change, can I help you? Yes. There's a difference. I help people change. I don't make people change. There's a big difference between the two, and there's a big difference between belief and opinion. And we're going to be talking about the teacher aspect of that on Wednesday's podcast, because it's going to be a big one. It's going to be something that we have to talk about, because what's happening in the schools, what's happening in the world is that we're creating people that are going to be the leaders of the next generations, to have their opinions be their belief. And the opinions are going to be from teachers, are going to be from parents, are going to be from their peers or from the news, not from their own experiences. So the way they're developing is changing, and it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it's going to lead to a society where people are weaker, because now they don't critically think. And that's dangerous. If you're new to the channel, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Do all those things that videos like. I will see everyone again on Wednesday, 4 p.m. Central Standard Time for another episode of Coaching in Session. Until then, everyone, take care.